Hello again, and welcome to Personal Productivity Using Technology with Dr. X. We will continue the tricks for your personal productivity by exploring Word and specifically Chapter 2 from your book Exploring Microsoft Office 2013. So the first set of objectives for this little video are to learn how to some things about typography, applying fonts and attributes through the dialog box, and you should remember how we bring up this dialog box. Furthermore, we will see some interesting tricks that I bet not everybody knows about in word wrapping. So with this, of course, we need to open a Word document. And where do we download documents from? Think our Blackboard course page. In the course documents, Word. So here we go. We have moved to chapter 2, and we can download the file from here, or just go to my H drive where I have already downloaded the file with the proper name, W02C1 interview. And here's our Word Chapter 2 file that, as you can see, it can take a lot of improvement. So, typography first. What is typography? I've heard from actual students in computer graphics that there's a whole class about typography and how to create your own types of fonts. So you may have heard once or twice that there are different types of fonts. They're called theme fonts, and of course they are in your Home tab, as any fonts menu is in all Microsoft Office tools, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So here we have a zillion of different types of fonts. To be honest, I haven't used all of them myself, but they can have several different uses, like if you want to have calligraphic characters or fancy characters. So when you have a professional document, it is strongly recommended to use Calibri or Times New Roman, these types of characters that are acceptable for a professional or scientific document. So you may have also noticed that there's multiple options in your fonts group, very useful, like how to create bold, italic, underlined, and all of these are called toggle switches because they turn blue, they turn a different color when selected. So here we are at the fonts menu, and we might want to use additional options. Of course, you know that there is always the arrow at the bottom of the fonts group, bottom left corner or right corner of the fonts group, and that can point you to additional options. Font types are the first option, and you can choose any different type you want. The font styles, sizes, all of these are quite mainstream, and you may have used these before. Superscript and subscript can be very useful with math, and of course you can even change the color of the fonts. Now, if you just want to delete and clear all the formatting, Word 2013 has got a new option to clear all formatting. And that's it, magic wand. So here I'm using one of the magic tricks that I've talked to you before, which is hovering on top of different parts of the screen and finding out what these parts are, what type of options I've got, and what each shortcut means. So the B shortcut means bold. By the way, whenever I see an arrow, of course, I'm inquisitive, so I'd like to see what's behind it. So for the underline, for example, you get more options for different underlines, more underlines that you can possibly imagine on using. So now let's see at other special effects, text effects. You can have strike through or double strike through if you want to, if you have a checklist and you want to strike through something that you've finished. And of course there are also options to change, capitalize letters. And the nice thing is that you've got a preview where you can see what you've done, increasing fonts, changing colors. So there are many font attributes, and I would encourage you to explore as you go. There are also text effects. Let's look at the text effects first. So the text effects have changed a little bit since with Word 2013. Let's go to a more normal type of font. So I'm going to text effects. You can have feel of your text, you can have outline of your text, you can even have shadows, reflections, glows, soft edges. Again, something to explore. Now here we can go to the advanced parts, which show us how we can change the spacing between characters, or scale our characters, or position characters compared to the actual row where they should be positioned. So if I use the raised positioning, you can see that if the line is here, the raised is going to go a little further up and or a little lower than the actual line marking. And of course, open type features, and of course your preview that always helps to realize what we've done. And definitely you can customize how your lining and spacing is going to look like. So there are many options for your different for your fonts. So there can be a whole class on fonts. Let's look a little bit at changing the text casing, uppercase, lowercase. So let's add my name here. You may remember that I could even add my name by using a quick part, because I'm the author of this document. So try to always apply the things we learn. So here it's the old author, but I can always add myself, so properties can save me from writing my long, painful name over and over again. So here, let's go back to home and the incredibly interesting fonts tab, because we could even change the case, the type case. So this is a part that always gets a little bit forgotten. So we all know that the shortcuts with capital letter A and up arrow can increase the font size, decrease the font size, and the coloring, the text effects, and all these different things. But this menu goes a little bit unnoticed, and this can change our characters to uppercase, and again saves us a lot of typing. so capitalize its word, or looking at just uppercase. So, of course, highlighting your text, very useful, especially if you are using your computer to study. You can have different highlighting colors. To apply highlighting, select the text or select it a priori or after the fact that you have selected the highlighting tool. And now at this point I want to just stop having the highlighting tool. So what do? It's a toggle switch, so click on it and unselect it, and now my pointer returns to normal and no longer a pen. Finally, something that is quite amazing is that you can control how the words are wrapping in your text. So why is this so amazing? Because in a professional document you may not want some words to be split, like for example the name Sparks and Mayonnaise. This may need to be one word. It may need to be unwrapped. The line should not be wrapped. As you can see when you type, and you've done this before, as you type, word changes line, and you don't have to pay attention on the line changes. But what if you don't want your text to wrap? What you can do is use a non-breaking hyphen or a non-breaking space, and here's how you can do that. Press Ctrl, Shift and space, and now you can see a different character for the space. Instead of the dot you have a little circle, and that means that this is a non-breaking space. You can do this again. You could even do this with hyphens if you want to create a non-breaking hyphen. We can look for a hyphen by using Ctrl F. That is a very, very useful shortcut. So let's say we're looking for hyphen and we want to make this pre-interview hyphen non-breaking hyphen. So what we will do is press Ctrl, Shift and hyphen. And now you can see that the hyphen is a little bit different, looks a little bit different, a little more continuous. And if you start typing before the pre-interview, for example, when the line changes, the pre-interview is not going to be broken. The pre-interview word is not going to be broken. So this is a nice way of controlling your hyphens and spaces and making non-breaking hyphens and spaces in order to create professional documents where you may want to have continuous words. Some words or names have to be continuous and unbreakable. And that's it. We fulfilled the objectives for this short video, and I will see you soon with the second part for Word Chapter 2 for Microsoft Office 2013.